Welcome back to my channel. I'm James, and I got another big special Christmas surprise for all of you. As most of you have requested, I'm going to deep dive into the Polar Express on 4K Ultra HD. This is the brand new release from Warner Brothers. And I know this is one that a lot of you are probably pretty darn surprised I'm releasing because I did a vote and all of you voted for all the other Christmas ones and this one came in second. Well, I decided to do a surprise and to do this one as well for all of you. That way you get access to all of these to know which one of these great Christmas classics you should buy and which ones you should skip. So I'm going to be doing my exclusive 4K versus Blu Ray image comparisons on this. I did all my testing data that I'm going to share with all of you. And then at the end, I always wrap it up with my review score. Lets you know how this compares to all the other releases and if it's worth buying. Now to start off with here, we're going to be touching on the 2007 Blu-ray release. This is the original Blu-ray release which had numerous cases, but it was all the exact same transfer that was released originally. Now the original Blu-ray release was very soft, it lacked a lot of fine details. The colors on it were very, I guess I would use the word more muted. They weren't as strong as what I had seen when I originally went to see it in theaters. Overall, the Blu-ray just had an overall soft and more fuzzy-like appearance to it, with very soft color appearance as well. Now in comparison to the new 4K Ultra HD release, as you're noticing above, these are the native images pulled from the 4K and the Blu-ray discs. As I've explained dozens of times, with these native images, with the 4K Ultra HD, the HDR content is always dumbed down to standard HDR by YouTube's algorithm. So you will see a much better HDR picture when you're watching it on your home display and your home TV. So keep in mind, these are just giving you a good representation, but what you see of these 4K images will only look better on a professionally calibrated 4K display and a professionally calibrated 4K player. Now on this new 4K, it is an upscaled 4K from a 2K source material. So because this is a computer generated film where it's all done by computer animation, this is an upscale to 4K from the 2K source what they finished it at. So that does make a difference with the material in the first place. And I'm not going to say that I don't like 2K's upscale to 4Ks, but I will say they're not as present with details as native 4Ks with a nice 4K scan can be. Now, I'm not going to say that upscale is never good looking. That's not the case. But do keep in mind it is limited by its source material that's available that they're drawing this from, because this new 4K does bring out the most details out of that computer animation imagery that's on this that it possibly can. But with that, you do notice, if you pay attention to some of those fine details, you will notice that it is an older computer animated film. So for example, Polar Express came out in 2004. That was not like right at the exact beginning of computer animation, but it was earlier on in that era where you do notice there was limitations with what they had available. For example, everybody always talks about the dead eyes on the characters. Now, do I think that's fixed on this? No. I mean, unless they went back and redid the whole film, which they didn't. That will always be there. But that's limitations of what they had available with computer animation at the time, trying to present this so that it looked as lifelike as possible. Those things you do notice a little bit more. For example, when you're looking at Tom Hanks, the conductor's mustache, for example, in that, on the original Blu-ray, everything was soft like I was talking about anyways, but on the 4K, because you can see so much more detail, you do notice that it's not as much individual hairs he has on his mustache if you look closely. You'll notice that it's kind of just little digital blocks that they kind of put together to make up his mustache. Now, is that horribly noticeable? No. You have to literally be right up next to your display to see that. Whereas if you're sitting back far away, your eye's not going to pick up on that. It's going to notice that, oh, it looks a lot better than the Blu-ray. It's just little things like that when I was doing all my side-by-side comparisons. I'm sitting there going side-by-side on the screen that you notice more so that you can see more of the digital imagery of how they created this. It's not done wrong. It's just that when they enhance the details of that image, some of those limitations of 2004's computer animation do become slightly more present on this. Now, if after you get done watching this review, you do decide you want to pick up and buy the Polar Express on 4K Ultra HD, I always put the links in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. You click on those, takes you straight out to Amazon, and I've made it nice and easy for you. Those never cost you even a penny extra when you click on those links, but those really do help to support this YouTube channel. So make sure to click on those links down below if you decide after hearing my review score at the end that you want to pick up and buy the Polar Express. Now this does have HDR10 on it, and I will say the HDR10 dramatically enhances the picture, especially what you see for the Polar Express is so beautifully with the colors and the snow and the blue that they give the effect of a lot of things, and Santa's suit and the elves and the gold bells and the gold, like just all of it. It's just very, very pretty film. And it's personally one of those Christmas films that I've always really enjoyed, though I love the book originally. So kind of going to the film, it kind of just enhanced basically what the book had in it. And I feel like the book and the film go really well together. But as far as the Polar Express goes, I really enjoyed the film. Though, as I said, there are limitations to like their dead eyes that always kind of slightly bothered me. But you put that stuff aside, I do think it has aged well and I still enjoy it to this day. And this new 4K really does bring out the most details that are possible, especially with the new color grading and the HDR10 that they did on this. It does look dramatically better than what the Blu-ray had before on it. And the colors on the new 4K Ultra HD are much more vibrant. Now talking about the audio here, the audio on this is a brand new DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. And that's in English, and I really enjoyed that audio mix. It was a drastic improvement in clarity. There was some nice bass that I got over the Blu-ray release had on it. Overall, the 4K had a much better range on it, especially like when you can hear the elves and things like that. I did think it kind of moved around the room a whole lot better than the previous Blu-ray release did. So that was a nice improvement on this Blu-ray audio-wise, that we did get the new audio mix on it over the previous Blu-rays from 2007. Now you do get 18 other audio options on this in other languages. So basically any language you want from almost any country, anywhere, you're going to have those options available on this as well. Now you do get subtitles in English, plus 17 other language options for subtitles as well. So like I said, both subtitles and audio options, you literally are going to get just basically every single one you could possibly need from any country around the world. Now, if you haven't checked out some of my other Christmas reviews, you're going to want to check out like Elf, or I also did A Christmas Story. Those are the new 4K Ultra HD releases that just came out. I also did National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I've done those reviews. And then just recently, I just did the brand new Special Classics Christmas Collection, 3-film collection of Rudolph and Frosty. And those are available to watch here on this YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't checked out any of those reviews, you're going to want to check out those reviews. Now, showing you what you get in this. You do get these really nice metallic slip covers. I did like the artwork they used on this. It says the Polar Express on the side. I did like the back of it. It has all your special features listed on it from the previous Blu-ray releases. They didn't leave anything out. You do get your Movies Anywhere digital copy code. So if you want to redeem that, it does get you a 4K digital copy as well, minus all your special features. Now, when you get inside here, you do get a Blu-ray and a 4K disc, and just like I kind of talked about in National Lampoon's, it must have been somebody different that did this release, because you do get 2 different cover artworks on it, which is nice so that it differentiates between them. One being blue for the Blu-ray, one being black for the 4K. I like what they were thinking with this release. But as far as the disc goes, they are both region-free. I exclusively tested them, as I always do. So no matter where you live worldwide, you can buy them through those Amazon links I posted down below. It'll ship anywhere worldwide. You'll be able to watch both discs. Here's why that's important. The Blu-ray disc is the brand new scan. So you do get the new 4K release with the new scan they did, dumbed down to 1080p without HDR on the Blu-ray. They did not throw in the old 2007 Blu-ray into this set. I like that Warner Brothers included a brand new Blu-ray in here as well. So that's a nice option that we get in there. So if you're wanting to buy this so you get access to the Blu-ray now, but you can't watch 4K yet, you do get both options in this. So this does future-proof you. So I did like that addition as well. Now talking about the discs in here, when I got mine, they had a lot of that film I've talked about over the years here on my YouTube channel. And to give you an example, before I cleaned them, I decided to put them in my Panasonic UB820 and try to play the 4K disc. It would not play at all. Every time it tried to scan it, because of how fine the laser is on the UBK20, it basically wouldn't play it because it was so heavily with that like film that I've talked about. Now, if you want to know how to properly clean them, there is a how to properly clean your discs video that I released on this YouTube channel. That'll give you a bunch of tips and tricks about how to do it properly without damaging your disc. But once I cleaned them, there was no issues playing it at all. It did play perfectly fine. Though I will touch on one little hiccup I did have. For example, on the Panasonic UB820, I just recently got another Panasonic UB820. I know I've gotten several of those over the years, but it's my favorite 4K player. Like I shared recently, I just got another one. On that one, I had not updated the firmware yet because I hadn't installed it yet. Well, I ended up installing it and then testing it out with this disc before I updated the firmware. On that one, it would not play without the update of 1.69. That's the update you're looking for. Now, if you go in and you set it up for wireless and then you click the update option, it'll update it to the latest firmware. But I did thought I'd let you know just a little bit about that playback issue. That one, it did have issues because of the film that was on it. That's going to need to be cleaned off your disc before you play them anyways. But then after that, if you do have a new player and you haven't updated the firmware, you're going to want to do that so that way this disc does play seamlessly. Now, I do think the Polar Express has a very good runtime. For a film that came out in 2004, it's 100 minutes long. It's a great pace for the film. They don't drag out anything too long, and I think it keeps it moving, and it is a great holiday classic that my kids love, my wife loves, that it is one of those things we go back and watch each year. This is the best that the Polar Express has ever looked on home video. Even compared to any of the Blu Ray releases, it does look the best it ever has. But there's a caveat with that. I don't want you to go into this thinking this is some reference quality 4K Ultra HD release. It is not. And there's limitations, as I referenced earlier, based on the 2K source that they're going off of to upscale this to 4K. No matter how many times they do it, the original computer animation is limited in details. There's only so much details you can take from something that was computer animated that the details simply don't exist from it. That is where you will notice the limitations on this release, and that's where it limits this 4K release's image quality as well. In all areas though, this is an improvement over any of the previous Blu-ray releases, so in that sense, it is an upgrade no matter what over any of those previous Blu-ray releases. But this is where I'm going to get to my review score. For the Polar Express, it gets a good 8.8. That's the review score for the Polar Express. It's a good release. It's not outstanding. It's not amazing. It's not going to blow you away as the best 4K release of the year. But it's good. And it's solid. It's a solid release limited by its source materials and the computer animation in 2004 at that time and the limitations behind that. So that's where there's a difference between going back and scanning the original film elements of something that's like a live action, or even like I talked about with like Rudolph or the Santa Claus review that I did when I was talking about those. When they scan those original film elements and they're able to go back to those, because it's not limited by the digital imagery itself, there's only so much detail that's even present in that computer animation, which is a digital image that's on the Polar Express from 2004. So that's where it's limited. It's kind of one of those things I'm trying to make sure that I've explained it good enough so that you understand that there's just only so much detail in that image anyways. So that's where it's limited, and that's where it falls as an 8.8. It's a good release. If you like the film, buy this, because this is the best version of the Polar Express ever released on home video. Every single area, audio, image, clarity, depth to the image, sound, the HDR10, all of those are big, nice improvements on this. But if you've never seen the film and you're expecting this to be like a 9.8, 9.9, knock your socks off, blow you away, it's simply not. It's an 8.8 because it's limited not by the 4K release. It's not that Warner Brothers didn't do something right. They did the best they could with what exists of the film. So they can't go back, and obviously unless they spent millions, which is how much the film cost to make originally, they would have to go back and redo all of the computer animation to make it look better than this 4K release looks. And so that's where I said that 8.8 comes from, just to make sure that I've explained that enough so you get what I'm meaning by that 8.8. So it's a good release. I recommend buying and picking it up, especially if you like the film. You will enjoy this because the Polar Express is such a story of wonder and amazement, of looking through a child's eyes of oh, this is how they think of Santa Claus and Christmas, and seeing it in the wonder and amazement of the spirit of the holiday and just having a fun time of feeling like a kid again and seeing the gorgeous visuals. That's where I really feel like the Polar Express excels. The HDR10 drastically enhances the colors and the imagery on this so much better than any of the previous Blu-rays did anyway. So that's where I said it was a nice improvement in those areas and really enhanced just the imagery overall. And I do enjoy it. I'm glad I picked this one up. I'm glad I own it now and that I can explore and watch this every single year. Make sure to start that conversation in the comment section below though, and let me know how much you love the film. Did you see it originally in 2004 like I did in theaters? I still remember going to see this and seeing the poster on the outside of the movie theater, and I was so excited. I mean, it's one of those things that I really miss in cinemas, getting really great Christmas movies released in cinemas every year. My family and I have really missed going to see a lot of them. It seems like most of the Christmas movies are getting released on these digital streaming services because they all want you to sign up for them and pay them for streaming services, which, as most of you know, I don't pay for any of them. I don't like streaming services. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like the idea behind paying for the content 100 times over. Every time I want to watch something, it's either gone or not available. I like owning it, having it, putting it in anytime I want to watch it. I like having the case in my hand, being able to look at it, physically have something in my hand. I love the artwork. I like coming into this room like what you see behind me and it being like Best Buy. I get to explore the room and look at everything and, oh, I want to watch this. Oh, I want to watch that. Pulling it out. My kids like looking at them. And there's something about having them, just like having a physical book in your hand. I'm not big into digital books either. We have a big collection of books and we read tons of books and my kids have tons of books. We like having things physically in our hands. I'm not a digital person that loves digital things that you don't physically own anything and they can take it away at any time. That's why I'm glad I own this now in the best quality that the Polar Express has ever been released in. Let me know if you're excited for this release and how much you enjoy this film, if you're excited that I did this one for all of you. Make sure to start that conversation in the comment section below. I worked extra hard and put extra time in to get these other Christmas ones done for all of you, like I know so many of you have asked me to and so many of you have requested. Make sure if you do decide you're going to buy any of these releases, if you're going to buy Polar Express on 4K Ultra HD, make sure to go down to those links I've posted in the comment section and in the description section below. Click on those, it takes you straight out to Amazon. I've made it nice and easy for you. They never cost you a penny extra when you click on those links, but they do make a difference to this YouTube channel and they do help to support this YouTube channel just a little bit. If you enjoy the content I create here on this YouTube channel and all the hard work and time I put into all these videos, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club, or you can give a super thanks to the super thanks button down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. We're getting really close to that 10,000 subscriber mark by the end of this year. I would love to hit that by the end of this year. That'd be really exciting. So make sure to go down, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. As always, I hope all of you truly always have a blessed day, that you're having a great holiday and Christmas season, having fun time with your family and your friends, and getting to spend time enjoying a lot of these classic Christmas movies that I've been covering. If you haven't checked out any of those reviews, make sure to go watch them. There's so many great Christmas movies I've covered recently that are really great additions to your holiday and Christmas movie collection. I've always got something new and exciting coming out very soon.